Hello, I am Joe Maven, and here is a new series of mine that I wish to start. In a series where I pretty much suggest like films or short films or just like pieces of work in cinema that I think, in my mind, deserves a piece of recognition. Now, the key thing to remember when viewing this series is that for each episode, I will only make the suggestions of count them, 3 features, whether they be short films or feature-length films. Only 3 for each episode. Now, the first film I would like to recommend is a German film called Run Lola Run, a film that's made in Germany, released in 1998, directed by Tom Tykwer. A movie about a woman named Lola who runs. End of the movie, that's it, that's all the movie, go see it. No, there's more in the movie. Run Lola Run is a movie about a woman named Lola who sporadically, right in the start of the movie, immediately gets a call from her boyfriend Manny saying that he lost $100,000 from this really bad dude, really bad guy, and he lost it on a train that he went on, and he needs to get the money back or else this bad guy that he has to give the money to will kill Manny if Manny does not provide that $100,000 to him. So he tells his girlfriend, Lola, that he doesn't really know what to do, and she tells him, research him, okay, I'll help you get that $100,000. I'll do whatever I can. And she just runs. That's the movie. This is a movie that is one of the most stylized films I've ever seen. It's kind of in the same vein of editing like something Edgar Wright would possibly do, but even more so. Everything is so fast-paced, it literally makes you feel like you're in a rush. And yeah, it's a high-paced thriller, fun action flick that has such a simplistic concept, yes, but it's still so fun in its execution. It's hard, I feel like, to really dislike it. I feel like the only way someone might not really love it is they can't really see beyond its gimmick. I could see someone seeing this movie just as a gimmicky film, which is fine. It does have this one gimmick of its concept being a woman runs, and that's it. But if you look beyond that and you look at its technical achievements and its great editing pace and its pacing that is just perfect, I couldn't really think of anything wrong with this movie, and I had a lot of fun watching this movie. And yeah, I recommend Run Lola Run, and for all of you to give it a watch and see how much of a rush it can be for you. Oh, clever wordplay. Guest with me, Mario, here for this next recommendation. Not anymore, he's back! For next recommendation that I have for all of you fans of film, I have for you the suggestion of this French film released in 2013 entitled Mood Indigo, directed by Michel Gondry, who in my mind is one of the best visionary filmmakers of all time, in my mind. And Mood Indigo is basically a romance film. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's kind of hard to like Run Lola Run. The plot is very simplistic. Just showing the life of people. It's basically showing like the romance if it was in the mind of directors Michel Gondry. And any of you who are fans of Michel Gondry, I feel like this movie is a must-watch because it has a lot of his trademark visual stylings and wacko, like surrealist type of imagery, which is great. And this same director, if you don't know, who directed the acclaimed film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which like Mood Indigo, is also visually stunning, like perfectly, uniquely, oddly, weirdly, but beautifully paced. As in my mind, this film is as well. And one of the film's romantic lead stars is Audrey Tautou. And many of you might recognize this actress from another French film entitled Amélie, That's right. Amelie, 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 Amelie. E, 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 e. Which is also a really good movie that I recommend. But for Mood Indigo, she stars in this as well, where in a way she kind of plays the same character in this as she did in Amelie, but if like the perspective was on the guy and not her. But that's fine, because it's still Audrey Tautou. It's still Amelie. But like what really makes their chemistry work is the world that surrounds them. And I think the world is what makes me enjoy this movie so much. But Mood Indigo's world for me is a world that I'd love to live in. Imagine living in the world of Michel Gondry, and it's so fantastical. Everything's weird. All objects are animate, and it's just so wonderful. It's so wonderful. Ha! And any of you like me that are a fan of stop motion, this film is chock loaded with stop motion. Like, it's just so imaginative, and like stop motion shines in this movie. But it's not entirely a film that makes you go, oh my goodness, ah! The second half, without spoiling anything, does get a bit indigo. And like, but like that just makes me myself love the movie more. It makes you smile, it makes you cry, it makes you weepy-eyed. It like enhances you, and it's just a delightful film. And I feel like if you're a fan of Michel Gondry, I definitely recommend it. Just to see him like showcase, just a showcase of how he's one of the most imaginative filmmakers around still today. I've heard many people, a lot of people actually, say that they really don't love this film and how it's a very flawed film. How the visuals, of course, are pretty, but it's kind of flat. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I can see that. But the visuals just do so much for me. I don't care. It just makes me smile so much. I could see this like as a comfort movie for me. It's just so good, and maybe it can be a comfort movie for you. If you don't enjoy it, I can't say I don't understand. This is one of those movies that like you gotta pick your poison. You'll either love it or you'll just say, effects are cool. Next one. Finally, for our final recommendation that I have for you in our first episode of Joe's Gallery of Films, I want to leave you off on a short film. Because short films deserve just as much credit as a feature-length film. Because a short film is still a film, and no matter what type of medium it is, if it's being filmed, it's a film. With that said, for again my final recommendation for this first episode, I would like to recommend the short film known as Possibilia, released in 2014, directed by the Daniels. I say short film when talking about Possibilia in air quotes because in a way it's presented as a short film, but really it's not short at all. In fact, I don't think there's an ending. I don't think it ever says the end at all whatsoever in the film. Possibilia is about a couple that argue and have an argument. You see the whole thread and theme of all these three recommendations I have for this first episode. They all have simplistic concepts, but the execution is very complex and like inventive and like philosophical and but this is the granddaddy of all the kinds of films out of all these three. Because, yeah, the concept is as simplistic as you can get, a couple arguing, that's it. But here's the kicker of this short film. It's a short film about a couple that argue, that shows the argument through all different multiverses. showing you different perspectives, different angles in the camera, and different scenarios and how the argument played out. An interactive short film. There have been a lot of films that have been experimental, in the vein of being experimental, pushing the envelope of what cinema can do. This film is the next step. This is something that I have never seen before in cinema, but this is one of those films that excites me. It shows me that cinema will never die. Possibilia makes me hopeful for what cinema will become. Possibilia is a short film that you all need to watch. You all need to experience. Here's the link to the short. It'll take you to the Twitch website. Experience it. If you have to have a good time today, good period of time where you can showcase it and like have amount of time, because you'll need a lot of time to experience it. But just click on this link, have fun with it. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna make you go, what? So that was my first ever episode of Joe's Gallery of Films. I hope you enjoyed it. For the 3 films listed in this first episode, if you've already seen it, comment below what you think of these films. If you liked it, disliked it, hate me, whatever. Just like keep the discussion of film, and keep it civil, because we don't need any gripes or cripes in the conversation of film. I'm Joe Maven, and I do hope that you continue to express your joy and love for the cinema.